Coming up on today's wrestling news, WWE ban a legend from attending Sting's last AEW match.
We've got a major contract update on a TNA star.
SmackDown stars make a surprise return on last night's NXT.
And a WWE superstar is out for 9 months.
I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Phil Chambers.
And this is the news. So yes, Sting's last AEW match is in just under 2 weeks, of course.
Yeah.
Him and Darby Allin defending their tag titles against those rascals, the Young Bucks, at AEW Revolution. But one person who will not be in attendance even, or being an attendant there, is Kevin Nash, who has been banned from attending by WWE. He was talking about this on his Click This podcast, which, Phil, is one of the best podcasts out there. You know, that's not ours. And he said, basically, he asked if he could go along and support Sting. Sting wanted him there. And after a long pause, in Kevin's words, he was told, no. He said his positioning in WWE could make things problematic. He said he was disappointed, obviously, that he's going to miss the Stinger's last hurrah. Sting also upset by this news, but he understands why he can't be there. But it's interesting to see that WWE are cracking down on that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Those Legends contracts can be sticklers with things like this, but it's an interesting one because it's not like he's been used on TV at all.
No.
In God knows how long.
I love him, but there's not really much concern for me that he's got one last run in him, for example.
He's not exactly going there to mosey on down with Tony Khan and try and angle his way back in.
Yeah, what's Kevin Nash doing there?
he's literally just going to support his friend. He could not care less. He's on a Legends contract from WWE for probably doing very little. I assume he's quite enjoying.
Instead, he's going to be on our live stream in a few. No, but yeah, it's a shame that, because it is going to be ridiculous. The ticket sales that's already done.
Yeah.
How do you see that one going, actually, by the way?
I can't put my finger on it. I think the Young Bucks are going to win, just because they'll get a lot more out of it going forwards than Sting will.
And he wanted to wrestle them. It's not like they...
Yeah. And he's handpicked this. And he didn't want the tag belts in the first place. At all, so
he's a legend. He only wants to go on his back.
Win in his last match. I think he'll be more than happy to go out on his back and just have that kind of one last great match. And the Young Bucks are gonna.
They've already got enough.
Go mad!
Oh my god! Them just remember when we retired Sting and finished him off in his last match?
Yeah, and that's it. They'll dine on that forever. So it's a way of keeping his name alive in AEW as well. I think they'll get more of it, but you never know. Just having the nice moment of Sting winning the match at the end could be the way to go. Yeah,
it's one of those ones. It'd be a heartwarming thing, but in long term, if they did that, then Darby either have to get a new partner or they'd have to do a tournament for the
waters.
Whereas you just give those gits in character, the belts, it does sort of springboard them. It's weird for them to turn heel and lose their first feud, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's coming up. You've got Elimination Chamber coming up this weekend. Then, of course, WrestleMania is on the horizon. And our live show, It's Always Sunny at WhatCulture, which is, of course, the meat in your WrestleMania sandwich. It goes down on Sunday lunchtime of WrestleMania weekend. We're going to be going to WrestleMania Night 2 as well, of course, so don't worry if you want to come to that. You will have plenty of time to go over. We'll probably all just get a big Uber together or something to head over for night 2 of WrestleMania. It goes down at Underground Arts in Philadelphia. Tickets are still available. WhatCulture.com/tickets. VIP sold out months ago.
Yep.
Or at least a few weeks. But general admission are still available. All the gang's going to be there. We've got some big things planned. Do join us. WhatCulture.com/tickets.
Lovely, but moving over, TNA. There's been some rumours about a certain someone's contract situation going over there, and that certain someone is Josh Alexander. Now, Fightful Select have come through with a big report on this. So there's a few rumours about whether his contract was up, whether he was asking for a release from his contract, what was going on, but the specific situation is that TNA have picked up their option for an extra year on Josh Alexander's contract. So his contract was for 2 years, plus an extra option year that they could pay into if they wanted to. So they have taken that option up. His contract was up on the February 14th, so now he has got till February 14th, 2025, which is when he will be a free agent. Now, like I say, there was some speculation about whether he asked for his release or anything like that. That isn't entirely the case. He did ask TNA to not pick up the option, though, in the view of looking out to see what else is out there, sort of surveying the waters, see what is there, and he would have renegotiated a contract contract in like good faith with them as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like he wanted to leave per se. He just wanted to see what else was out there and what his options were.
Yeah, it's all a bit tumultuous in TNA right now. It started off so well at kicking off the year, and then obviously Scott D'Amore left, and I have no idea what the whole hourglass thing on social media means.
A bit mad recently.
I think Josh was one of them. Jordan Grace, I know as well, was another posted and all that. I mean, talent not happy, presumably, that Scott D'Amore is gone, which I did think was a strange decision. It all felt very harmonious. He was a big part of TNA becoming TNA again, basically.
Yeah,
and from the TNA talent that we know, he was well received. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like you say, he's a professional. He might not be necessarily immediately so happy about it because he wanted to try and do maybe indie stuff or see if AEW or WWE, and I'm sure they would be, could be interested. But he's there until next year. I really like Josh Alexander. TNA sort of introduced me to him. He has been sensational over the last few years, and we got to see him live, of course, in Newcastle last year. He's bloody massive.
He is massive, and he's a hell of a talent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that they pick up the contract for him for another year at least. To try and keep him there, but yeah, I think like once he's done with TNA, like I feels like he'll be getting some nibbles at least.
I feel like Triple H could be a big fan of his. Yeah,
I think he's definitely got a sort of WWE vibe, WWE fit to him. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be sort of wanting for offers in a year's time.
What do you think the whole hourglass thing means? Do let us know in the comments section below. I saw Karrion Kross arguing that an emoji was his gimmick with Jordan Grace, basically. She just served him on social media yesterday. But yes, very excited to see what he does in the next year. And I hope things can get resolved in TNA because it was an exciting start to the year and I like the direction that they were heading in.
Yeah, and it's a little bit all over the place with sort of the news trickling out. I'm sure there'll be a lot more, but we will keep you informed.
From TNA to NXT, an eventful show last night. It was taped, but obviously, we'll get to one of the bigger unfortunate stories coming off the back of it in a second. Before that, though, there was a number one contenders match on last night's show. The Wolf Dogs are, of course, the new tag team champions in NXT. Devastated for the family, although all is not lost. NXT review coming later on today. I've got some big plans for them. But yeah, there was a number one contenders match. It was Chase U versus Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Chase U are your new number one contenders. None of that matters though, because immediately after the match, in came Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson of the OC. They popped up on SmackDown just last week as well, of course. They kicked everybody's asses. They hit Duke Bloody Hudson with a magic killer, and afterwards they were caught within the car park, the most dangerous place in NXT, of course, saying they're back. They're going to stay as long as they want. When it comes to the NXT tag team title scene, they're going to separate the men, referring to themselves, from the boys, and then they sent a message to Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin saying that they're going to win their tag titles, specifically with the Magic Killer. I'm glad they're doing something with Gallows and Anderson now. It's been ages.
Yeah, it's been a little bit all over the place. They kind of cropped up on WWE TV, like occasionally in backstage skits with AJ Styles, and then there was that thing, not on SmackDown last week, but the week before, when they just kind of, I think it was the commentators just kind of announced that the OC had broken up, and there was no actual sort of filmed thing about it or anything.
They had a shoving match with AJ recently, didn't they?
It's really, really odd. So they've kind of been all over the place. I guess WWE have just realised that they're actually on the books and paying them, and they should probably make them do something, because they've been on a
fair play
ride for quite a while.
What was it? It was 2 years ago we were hanging out with them at Wale Mania, and they were like, contract season's coming up, baby, and they fair play to them. They negotiated a great deal. I really like them. I feel a bit sorry for Michin and all this, because it feels like she joined the OC and then they just went, not really do anything.
Yeah, I'm bored of that now.
But yeah, Gallows and Anderson in NXT could be a load of fun and a real shot in the arm for a real developing tag team scene. And nothing against Chase U and Axiom and Nathan Fraser, but they do feel like a real legitimate threat to Breakker and Corbin, which you assume can't be that long for the NXT Tag Team Championships, because Bron's going to be busy on SmackDown. I know you can work both shows, but Bron wants to, jet off on SmackDown. He's going to be amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's world champion or holds a major title on WWE's main roster within the next 12 months. So
yeah, absolutely. I think they've done a really good job with him over there as well, in terms of just making just his fake contract signing feel like a thing that people have been fighting over, and therefore makes him feel more important.
Because we assumed basically straight after last year's Mania, I remember sitting in like a pizza place at the airport going, I guess they're doing a heel Braun Breaker for a bit now, but he just was brilliant in the role, and this new tag team's been awesome. Exciting times for him and the Wolf Dogs going forward. But some unfortunate news also on last night's NXT.
Yeah, so this is a kind of update to a story we reported on last week, and it's about Shotzi. She was wrestling Lyra Valkyria on the taped episode of NXT, and the match got cut short halfway through because she got injured, but they've got an update on that injury now, and she has torn her ACL, which does unfortunately mean that she's going to be out for around 9 months. Now it's obviously crap whenever any of these things happen, but like the timing of this right before sort of Elimination Chamber and Mania season, it's just really unfortunate. But she put out a big statement on Instagram with a picture of her in the hospital. Where she basically just said that it absolutely sucks. She thanked everyone for the kind words of support and things like that, and started just talking about how previously mental health was in an absolute low point, but she was just finally getting back on her feet and feeling like herself again, and then this happens. So she's devastated and angry about it, quite obviously, but motivated to get better and get back as soon as she can. So yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate things in wrestling. It kind of happens, but get well soon to Shotzi.
It was so innocuous. It gutted for her. It was just a spot where she's jumping out to the floor with Valkyria, and she just went down clutching her knee, and when we came back from the break, that was it. And subsequently we've been told a torn ACL, which is just, you're out for 6 to 9 months minimum.
It's always on the dumb stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's rarely...
Because for someone who does pretty, Shotzi, who does awesome spots, she's that's how she takes it.
Jumping down off the apron,
Get well soon, Shotzi. We wish her well in her recovery. Let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE, of course, on X, if you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from the one and only Bagwell. Belated happy birthday to Atlas. Look at
Atlas, good boy.
Good boy. Sorry I missed this yesterday. But yeah, the question is, should they get rid of the women's tag titles for 2 mid-card titles?
I don't know.
I don't know about 2.
Yeah, I don't know about 2. But you could have one on each brand, I guess. That'd make it sense. I don't know. It's a tough one because the tag titles, they haven't exactly put a lot of focus on them in the past, have they?
No.
Historically. But it does feel like, they're not going mad with effort over them, but it does feel like they're in a much better position now than they were. There's a few teams in there that you can do, and just the idea of them being tag titles kind of gives you the excuse to get more people on the show, which is always nice. But at the same time, without the sort of drive and focus that the men's tag belts have or anything like that, they do just feel incredibly secondary.
Yeah, there was a long period where if someone said, who's the tag champions? I'd be like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
They've done a lot recently, obviously Caden Carter and Katana Chance held them, and now obviously the Kabuki Warriors, and I think, I'd keep them on them for quite some time, really, because it's arguably a team of an argument of the team making the titles rather than titles making the team, and it looks great on them.
Yeah.
But
there's quite a few teams in there. There's Alba Fire and Isla Dawn and Shayna Baszler and Stark.
Yeah, you could bring up some great female teams in NXT.
Yeah.
And like you say, if you're kind of stuck for something to do, I would not be surprised if they said, we're going to have a big 8-woman match at WrestleMania to get everyone on the card and just hoy, Naomi in a team with someone, because right now I can't see what Naomi's doing at WrestleMania.
Which is mad after that comeback.
Bring her back and go,
do.
A kick-off or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be against a women's mid-card title if you were going to get rid of the tag titles, though, because otherwise it would feel like a big void and just 2 things, and there's only really going to be 4 people centered around that.
Something they've never tried as well.
Yeah.
It could be quite interesting and a sort of fresh start for it.
And, if you do it the way they've done with the IC title and arguably the US title more recently, make it feel prestigious. Don't make it feel like you're not really ready for the world title. Yeah, they could do something with it. They could put it on, I suppose. The person that Danny Hargreaves mentions in his question, cheers to the question, Danny. At this point, what do you do with Jade Cargill at WrestleMania? Who does she face, and or how do we get to that match? I assumed she was going to be in the chamber when I saw that leaked graphic.
Yeah, that leaked graphic does feel like maybe they've just changed their plans just to spite people because they've already leaked it and they're like, all right, we'll get you. But yeah, it felt easy to get her in the chamber, and it also felt easy to have her like not win the chamber because there's 5 other people in there. And you can do something mad where like all 5 people pin her.
Yeah.
You can do something to protect her within the chamber environment to keep her going and moving towards WrestleMania, and use the chamber to build towards a WrestleMania match. And so they had the moment with Bianca Belair at the Royal Rumble, which definitely felt like they were going to do more with going forwards. But like the longer that goes on, you don't know. I mean, there's still plenty of time until you get to WrestleMania, but I think it needs to be something big. Like Bianca Belair would fit really well. Like it doesn't need to be a title match at all. It just needs to be a win against someone sort of well established.
It would feel big time, wouldn't it, for her first singles match to be at WrestleMania. And that's why I'm conflicted about putting it against Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair's got the streak, and I do like the idea of protecting her. I think arguably, out of everyone they've got who's not working a big title match, she might give her the best match, but you end Bianca's streak, you give Jade Cargill a loss on her first big singles match.
Yeah.
Maybe Nia Jax.
Maybe Nia Jax would.
That could be fun.
That could be fun.
Like, you can beat Nia because she'll have just lost the women's championship match.
They had the bit in the Royal Rumble as well.
I don't know. Or you could just, like I say, you could just hoy her in a team with Tiffany Stratton or bloody Naomi or whoever. Tiffany Stratton could be quite fun, actually. I'll keep wanting to book Tiffany Stratton in big matches at WrestleMania. I'd probably have Tiff versus Bianca, but that's just because of what's happened recently and because I think Tiffany Stratton's going to be an absolute megastar in the coming years. But yeah, let us know who you'd like to see Jade Cargill face at WrestleMania. And we'll move on to Sean Ackland's question, which is the question I've been most looking forward to asking you. Book WhatCulture in its own elimination chamber. All channels welcome. Who enters?
All channels.
Who's eliminated when, and who's the last man, woman, other standing?
All channels.
All channels. Right. Let's try and get a
Miller's got to be in there.
Miller's got
the 6.
Miller's in there.
Yeah.
Miller headbutting his way out, like his pod's broken, and he headbutts his way out of it. Makes a lot of sense. Let's get Sean Ferrick from Trek Culture in there. Love Sean. We need a gaming person.
Josh or Scott. I think Josh would be funnier.
Josh should be the Shotzi of the chamber. He'd do a mad spot in there.
Let's get Josh in there. Who else have we got?
Let's go. Oh, I want Gareth Morgan.
Yeah.
I think
so you can have Gareth and Miller square
that
off.
moment.
Yeah.
They're sort of two doinks.
Yeah, let's get Gareth in there.
But yeah, the power game there could be a load of fun.
Yep.
We need like I don't know how I'm going to put this. I was going to say a coward. I'm thinking of, was it Jericho when he was at Goldberg and he's like, I'm just going back in the pod?
Yeah, just close it up.
I'll play that role.
Yeah, there you go. It'd be mean to put that somewhere else.
I've been good in the pod, thank you. Right, so we've got...
I'll go in just because I want to jump off the pods.
Okay, so we've got you, Sean, Josh, Miller, Gareth, and me.
Yeah. Who starts it? Either Miller and Gareth. I think Miller and Gareth starts it.
Yeah, Miller can headbutt his way into my pod.
Yeah.
We want to be in it, so we've got to pick 4 of the people.
Yeah, basically. That's how it goes. So who goes out first?
We'll chuck...
Josh.
I feel bad now. Let's chuck Ewan in there as well. Like, they did a 7-person chamber randomly, didn't they?
Oh yeah, when he started with 3 people.
Yeah.
So Josh goes out first. Don't know why.
Josh first. He's just not experienced in this sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you... So who's starting the match, sorry? Oh, maybe...
Miller, Gareth, and Ewan, because it'd just be quite funny.
Brilliant.
Sorry,
okay. It's the Hurricane in the Royal Rumble all over again.
He can just kind of run to the outside, and then Miller and Gareth can square off. And can just
Josh comes in, has got no idea what he's doing. He's eliminated within 60 seconds.
Yeah, by Ewan.
Yes, you come in. I think you immediately do the sort of John Morrison spider climb.
Yeah,
drop onto everyone.
Monkey bars.
Yeah.
Drop.
I'll be number 6 entrant. I want to be hiding him up. But Sean Ferrick...
And you can be holding it, and Miller punches his way
what
through.
Do they call it? Sean Ferrick could get like a surprise elimination. He could eliminate Gareth. Because like Gareth's like, I'm going to kill you, Sean. Nothing. They're both the loveliest men, by the way. And I'm going to kill you, Sean. And then Sean pulls out, because he's got held in his pod, one of them, are they called phasers?
I was going to say, what's a good Star Trek weapon?
And he's like, ah!
It's like the
roll up.
The mist, but with light.
Yeah.
Straight to the roll up.
We've got to get rid of Ewan. Let's do powerbomb off the top of one of the pods.
Yeah, sorry, Ewan.
Sorry, mate. I'm going to break this news to him in a second.
To be Ewan.
So you're still in there.
You're in there.
Miller's in there. I'm in there.
Sean Ferrick's still in there.
Sean Ferrick's still in there. I've got to get a heel elimination, so I'll get rid of Shawn.
Yeah, there you
through
go.
nefarious means.
So it's us three. I should do
I think-
something else off the top of the pod, but that goes wrong. Like if I do a big crossbody onto Miller, but then he rolls through.
Yes.
And pins me or something.
Nice.
And then it's you two, so you could have the sort of power running away.
I hide in each
trying
body,
to-
head puts his way through each of them. And then
he just destroys you.
ups and downs, 1, 2, 3.
Miller wins.
Miller punches his tickets at WrestleMania. God, have we just booked the best chamber ever? I don't know what you're pointing at.
There's nothing up there.
We got a Mania sign in the studio. But yeah, let us know.
Would you watch that? Let us know down in the
Si
comments.
White would be awesome in there. Sorry, Si, I should put you in there. But yeah, let us know who you think could win if Miller suffers an injury in the chamber, basically, in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on all of our stories. And while you're on it, why not check out this video? We'll see you soon.
Bye.